afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Live at 4 on this Monday. Susan's a bit under the weather today, so Brady Mallory is sitting in. Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. Have a good Easter?
I did. I got to go home for a bit. It was my mom's birthday on Friday, so a lot of family time. What about you?
Yeah, pretty much just stayed home.
Yeah, it's good in this weather.
Made a big ham. We're good to go. So, yeah, it was good. Let's see what's happening today. Here's what's making our headlines. Tommy Thompson announces his plans for the next few months, why they do not involve running for governor.
And then how the newly approved maps by the state Supreme Court could make the next election a potential big win for GOP lawmakers.
And President Biden hosts the first in-person Easter egg roll in a couple of years. It was a very happy event.
You know what I'm not happy about? This weather.
The snow this morning?
Oh, yeah, there were a few flakes out there just now when I was outside.
It is the 18th of April.
But apparently it's warming back up. That's news to me.
That's good news. Dana's in the backyard. Is it snowing now?
It is.
Oh, great.
I know. Don't be so grumpy. It's too early. It is only 4:01. The show's barely going. No grumps yet. Right now we do have snowflakes swirling around out here on the patio. Northwest of Dane County, a little steadier snow flurry action coming through. I guess we'll call it that. It's not enough to stick, but enough that you will see snowflakes swirling around. This is going to continue for the next about 3 or 4 hours, but it will come to an end overnight. And yes, the good news here, temperatures will improve by the weekend. Looking at a cloud check, it has been a cloudy sky today throughout Wisconsin. Temperatures in the mid to low 30s for areas north of Dane County, holding on to about 37 for Janesville, 35 in Monroe. So quite a bit below average compared to this time yesterday is a 10-degree drop for us for Madison. So it is cooler outside. Temperatures generally tonight holding pretty steady, only falling to about freezing for our overnight lows by tomorrow morning. That cloudy sky allows us to at least stay stable in the 30s overnight. As far as traffic is concerned, again, these light flurries swirling around, not enough to cause any visibility concerns for us throughout southern Wisconsin. A lot of green popping up on the map and no accidents for us in Dane County or Rock County this evening. The interstate looks smooth north and southbound. From the Beltline to Janesville, 25 minutes, 16 minutes to get from Middleton to Sauk City and downtown to Sun Prairie. A 17-minute drive for us this evening. We'll take a closer look at that warming trend. Some good news for us in just a few minutes.
Well, we could use some good news from the weather department. All right, Jane, we'll see you in a few minutes. Thank you. Madison police are searching for a man and woman charged in the death of their baby who didn't show up for court today.
Arkeem Ashley and Estefania Martinez were arrested and charged in 2020 after their 7-week-old son was found dead in his bassinet. The baby died from blunt injuries to the head. An autopsy also revealed indications of blunt force wounds from the past. According to the criminal complaint, after trying to bottle feed the baby, Ashley shook him a little bit. Ashley told detectives that he shook the infant multiple times in an attempt to stop the crying. When the crying did stop, Ashley laid the child down in his crib. He said the baby's eyes were open halfway and that it seemed like the baby was breathing. Dane County court records show that Ashley Martinez did not appear for a status conference last June, and a bench warrant was issued for them. Then on March 16th of this year, Ashley was charged with repeated sexual assault of a child stemming from an unrelated incident. A warrant was issued for his arrest. 1
month after authorities in Dodge County announced they had solved a 13-year-old cold case involving an infant that had been found dead inside a garbage bag on the side of the road, the woman charged in the case pleads guilty. Court records show Karen Lutinen pleaded guilty to 1 count of concealing the death of a child this morning in Juneau County Court. The body of a newborn girl had been found near Lone Road in the town of Teresa on April 29, 2009. But the case had gone unsolved since then, despite law enforcement's efforts to identify the newborn, who they eventually began to call baby Teresa. A sentencing hearing has been set for August 5th. She faces up to 3.5 years in prison and/or a $10,000 fine.
Former Governor Tommy Thompson announced today that he will not run again in a bid to take on Governor Evers. A campaign by the 80-year-old Thompson would have put him on the ballot for the first time in a decade and 24 years after his last win. The winner of the August 9th primary will advance to face Governor Evers. Thompson contemplated seeking yet another comeback in his unparalleled career in Wisconsin politics that spans more than half a century, even meeting last month with former President Donald Trump at Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort to discuss it, but ultimately Thompson decided against another run.
Well, late on Friday, the Supreme Court approved Republicans' maps that will likely be in place for the fall elections.
The maps inch closer to giving the GOP a 2/3 supermajority in the state legislature.
Political reporter Will Keneally explains just what it would take to cross that threshold. Will.
That's right. It would take a significant Republican win, but not an impossible one, to push them over the threshold to be able to overturn an Evers veto, which would significantly limit his impact. Republicans currently hold 61 seats in the Assembly and 21 in the Senate. That means that they'd need to flip a combined 6 seats to get to that supermajority. John Johnson of Marquette University says it would take roughly a 7-point margin of victory to do that trick.
It's a better statewide performance than we've seen a Republican get in one of these marquee races for a long time. Scott Walker never achieved that kind of victory, despite being elected statewide several times.
The closest race in recent memory to approach that figure was Tammy Baldwin's win over Leah Vukmir in 2018. Baldwin won that race by an 11-point margin, and the race was called less than 5 minutes after the polls closed. But it's a little more nuanced than that. Republicans can't just replicate what a single candidate like Baldwin did over an entire assembly race. We'll delve more into that nuance and the prevailing demographic wins headed into November next at 5.
We'll see you then. Well, thank you. On this tax day, Citizen Action of Wisconsin claimed that Wisconsin's billionaires are not paying their fair share. They released a report providing new numbers on the ballooning net worth of Wisconsin's 8 billionaires during the pandemic. The group's executive director says the average Wisconsin billionaire net worth increased 50% since 2019, while he says the average American was struggling just to make ends meet.
That is the question. We have a system where the people who are doing by far the best, better than everyone else, don't pay their fair share back. And they also don't even pay a reasonable percentage back because...
Craig says on average, the American billionaire pays a tax rate of 8.2%, where the tax rate for the average American is 13.3%. And he says that doesn't take into account the taxes the average American pays in daily life.
An autistic teenager who disappeared from his family's California home nearly 3 years ago has been found alive in Utah. Police body cam footage shows deputies in Utah interacting with 19-year-old Jack Oswald nearly 3 years after the teen disappeared from his California home, hundreds of miles away. The sheriff's department found him sleeping outside a store in an area known for its ski areas. After agreeing to warm up in the patrol car, the teen, who has autism, let them take a fingerprint, which eventually led to his identification. His stepfather drove 4 hours to Utah to confirm the good news.
We're just grateful that he is safe, he's alive, and we have our son back. That's the most important thing ever for us.
Where Oswald has been for all this time? Well, that remains under investigation. Oswald's family never stopped searching for him, though. They handed out flyers, contacted missing persons organizations, and even moved back to the town where he was born, hoping he would eventually make it back there.
The death toll continues to rise in Ukraine, but officials say they have no intention of surrendering to the Russians.
And they're vowing to fight to the end, however long that may take.
Skylar Henry has the latest.
Russia renewed its aerial assault on Ukraine on Monday. Hundreds of missile strikes were reported across the country, including one that left at least 7 dead in the western city of Lviv. Lviv's mayor said they were the first people killed there since the war began. Moscow has redirected most of its ground forces to southeastern Ukraine. Russian troops appeared on the verge of capturing Mariupol after Ukrainians ignored an ultimatum to surrender on Sunday. Ukraine's government says the attacks on the city could doom ceasefire talks with Moscow. Meanwhile, new pictures emerged showing some of the last moments of the Russian warship Moskva. Ukraine says it sank the ship with missile strikes. U.S. intelligence agreed with that assessment, but the Kremlin insisted the missile cruiser went down after an onboard fire caused an ammunition explosion. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says he has asked President Biden to visit his country. Zelensky says he believes President Biden will accept the invitation. However, the White House says there are no plans for the president to make such a trip, and Russia's ability to strike targets throughout Ukraine makes it even more unlikely. Skylar Henry, CBS News, the White House.
President Vladimir Putin says Russia has weathered the sanctions imposed after it invaded Ukraine. Putin described the sanctions as an economic blitzkrieg, but said they were causing more harm in the U.S. and Europe than in Russia. Well, Philadelphia is already facing legal pushback after reinstating its indoor mask mandate starting today.
Meanwhile, the federal judge has ruled against the Biden administration's mask requirement on airlines. The holiday weekend looked more like life before the pandemic, with packed churches and cities across the country for Easter services. Though today, Philadelphia became the first major U.S. city to reinstate a mask mandate in all indoor public spaces amid the latest surge in new cases of the Omicron subvariant BA.2.
The virus is still dangerous, even though it has this milder picture. It's that booster that really provides that solid protection.
Today, a federal judge in Florida struck down the CDC's mask mandate for airplanes and public transit, saying the federal agency exceeded its authority. The mandate had recently been extended until May 3rd. It's unclear when the masking guidelines on public transportation will change in light of today's federal ruling. Amtrak tells CBS News its mask requirements remain in place for now, while the Justice Department says it's reviewing the decision.
This morning, President Biden and the First Lady, Dr. Jill Biden, hosted the first in-person White House Easter egg roll in years.
Okay, here we go. Ready, get set.
Vice President Harris and the second gentleman, Doug Emhoff, also attended. The theme for this year's egg roll was, all right, ready for this? Egg-ucation. And the South Lawn was transformed into a school community with educational activities. 30,000 guests were expected, including military families and the crew members and families from the USS Delaware.
Education never stops. The determined spirit of education is what we wanted to honor in this Easter egg roll. So we turned the South Lawn into a school community.
This was the first open egg roll since the pandemic started. During her remarks, the First Lady mentioned this year's theme is inspired by her years as a teacher and said learning doesn't only happen in the classroom. The president also joked it was his job to prevent the rain for a few minutes. Washington, D.C. had rain and chilly temperatures all day.
Excellent.
See what you did there.
A new exhibit aiming to educate Wisconsinites on Hindu culture and civilization is open at the Capitol. The free exhibit's aim is to help people understand one of the oldest continuous civilizations. The exhibit highlights time-proven principles and techniques for realizing the true nature of oneself. Hindu civilization has contributed to several fields of human endeavor. The exhibit has posters on arts, science, divinity, architecture, scriptures, spiritual traditions, festivals, dress, yoga, and medicine. It can be found on the second floor rotunda of the Capitol.
Wow.
Well, still to come at 4, we're all feeling the effects of near record high inflation.
Now, what's causing the price hikes, and is there any relief in sight? We'll get those answers from a UW economic expert when Live at 4 continues.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4.
To be a thriver with metastatic breast cancer means asking for what we want and need, and we need more time. So we want Kisqali. Women are living longer than ever before with Kisqali when taken with an aromatase inhibitor or fulvestrant in postmenopausal women or in men with HR-positive, HER2-negative metastatic breast cancer. Kisqali is a pill that's significantly more effective at delaying disease progression versus an aromatase inhibitor or fulvestrant alone. Kisqali can cause lung problems or an abnormal heartbeat, which can lead to death. It can cause serious skin reactions, liver problems, and low white blood cell counts that may result in severe infections. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including breathing problems, cough, chest pain, a change in your heartbeat, dizziness, yellowing of the skin or eyes, dark urine, tiredness, loss of appetite, abdomen pain, bleeding, bruising, fever, chills, or other symptoms of an infection, a severe or worsening rash, are or plan to become pregnant or breastfeeding. Avoid grapefruit during treatment. Ask your doctor about living longer with Kisqali.
And I walked right into US Cellular and I said I want to choose any phone in here for free.
What'd he say?
He said, sure. Really nice guy. I had my pick of any phone from any brand, free, even the newest ones.
Wow.
Yeah.
You got the big screen?
Yeah.
Big storage?
Yeah.
Fits in your pocket?
Fits in my pocket. Yeah, it's a big phone, and that's what I wanted, and I got what I wanted.
At US Cellular, we put you first. So choose any phone free. Plus, get unlimited data for just $30 a month. US Cellular, America's locally grown wireless.
When you drive a Honda, the adventures go on and on. Follow your adventures with the thrilling performance of Honda. The brand owners are calling the most fun to drive. Hurry into a local Honda dealer where new vehicles are arriving daily.
If you have type 2 diabetes or high blood pressure, you're a target for chronic kidney disease. You can already have it and not know it. If you have chronic kidney disease, your kidney health could depend on what you do today. FARXIGA is a pill that works in the kidneys to help slow the progression of chronic kidney disease. FARXIGA can cause serious side effects, including dehydration, urinary tract or genital yeast infections in women and men, and low blood sugar. Ketoacidosis is a serious side effect that may lead to death. A rare life-threatening bacterial infection in the skin of the perineum could occur. Stop taking FARXIGA and call your doctor right away if you have symptoms of this bacterial infection, an allergic reaction, or ketoacidosis. And don't take it if you are on dialysis. Take aim at chronic kidney disease by talking to your doctor and asking about FARXIGA. If you can't afford your medication, AstraZeneca may be able to help.
FARXIGA.
Taco Bell fans are drooling over the return of the Mexican pizza. You heard about this?
No, I don't know anything about it, but let's find out. After a 2-year hiatus, the fast food chain confirmed today that Mexican pizza will reappear on menus next month. Taco Bell introduced the item in 1985, but the restaurant stopped serving it back in 2020 to cut costs. The move caused some outrage, with hundreds of thousands of people signing a petition demanding it back. Vegetarians are especially happy about the return of Mexican pizza because it's one of the few fast food meals available to them. Mexican pizza expected to be relaunched on May 19th.
They are very passionate about that.
Apparently.
Well, the right-wing media outlet InfoWars is supposedly bankrupt. The controversial media organization filed for bankruptcy protection in a Texas court on Sunday. Court documents alleged its estimated assets are valued at less than $50,000, but its liabilities are between $1 and $10 million. InfoWars is facing lawsuits tied to its owner, Alex Jones. The conspiracy theorist was found legally responsible for damages caused by his claims that the 2012 Sandy Hook mass shooting was staged. 26 people were killed in the deadly school shooting. Jones has since acknowledged the attack was real, and in a 2019 sworn deposition said a form of psychosis caused him to make the claim.
Well, 2 Russian cosmonauts went on a spacewalk outside the International Space Station today. The 2 are activating a new robotic arm, and it's the first of 2 spacewalks needed to set up the 37-foot arm, which will be used to help future spacewalkers and to move around cargo and gear. Today, the cosmonauts spent nearly 7 hours installing and connecting a control panel. During the second spacewalk set for April 28th, they'll test the arm after removing protective thermal blankets. NASA says while the geopolitical situation on Earth is tense, the U.S. and Russian crews on the ISS have been friendly, sharing meals and watching movies together.
Renters are losing confidence that they will ever own a home. The average probability of owning a home at some point in the future tumbled to 43% this year. That's the lowest level since the New York Fed began asking the question in 2015, and only about a third of people surveyed with less than a bachelor's degree or who make less than $60,000 expect to ever own a home. That's down more than 10% from the past 2 years. Meanwhile, some people who had hoped to buy have been priced out of the market, forcing them to rent instead. That in turn has helped to drive up rental rates.
Well, stocks end lower ahead of a busy week of earnings reports. The Dow Industrials fell 39 points, ending today at 34,411. The NASDAQ off 18. The S&P 500 was fractionally lower. For the year ending in March, the Consumer Price Index rose 8.5%, its largest 12-month increase since 1981.
And seemingly everything costs more right now, from food to recreation, even our energy bills.
Joining us now is Steve Deller. He's an applied economics professor that is from UW. Welcome. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
So what is causing all this inflation, the Consumer Price Index going up?
Well, there's 3 things that are going on. One is kind of continued bubbles in the supply chain that started with COVID, and that's continuing to be a problem that's not really working its way out of the system. So we have kind of pent-up demand. People want to spend money, they want to buy things, but the supply chain is causing shortages, which is driving up prices. The second is the federal government, maybe the stimulus policies to get us through COVID were maybe a little too much, a little too long, and maybe overheated the economy. The third thing is that we've had historically low inflation rates, and companies have been really hesitant to raise prices, and now they're seeing an opportunity to maybe increase those prices that they've been putting off for years and years and years.
Do you think, or when do you think the prices could change then?
Well, a lot of the forecasts by economists are saying that by the end of the year we should be back to 2.5% to 3%. But the real uncertainty is, again, COVID and the supply chain bubbles, and also what's going on with Ukraine and the energy markets. There's a real uncertainty as to what's driving that. So when you look at inflation right now, what's really driving it is energy prices and food prices.
If you took those out of the equation, where would we be with the price index?
It'd be around 6%, which is still a little too high, but it's not. We're not in panic mode by any means when it comes to inflation.
Can the Feds do anything to help this along?
I think one of the things is the Federal Reserve is slowly raising interest rates to try to they're taking their foot off the gas pedal, if you will. And that will slow down some purchases. It will slow down the housing market a little bit. But the question is it going to be kind of a soft landing, or are they going to actually try to push us into a recession? Most economists don't think they're going to do that, but they will be trying to take some of the pressure off.
Yeah, and some of these topics that you've touched on, are you seeing them really affect people in the state, Wisconsinites, in that way?
I think Wisconsin is following the national lead. So a lot of what we're seeing across the nation, we're seeing in Wisconsin, particularly with housing and rental prices are just going up very, very high. Energy prices are starting to come down a little bit, and I think that, again, in 6-9 months, we should start to see some of that pressure relieved.
Just to get that supply chain going again, that would make a big difference.
Exactly. The problem, though, is that China has this zero tolerance policy around COVID. And every time COVID starts to pop up, they go into lockdown mode. And every time they do that, that interjects another bubble into the supply chain. Ukraine also is surprisingly a major supplier for inputs into a lot of European manufacturing firms. And those are essentially now offline. So it's creating yet another bubble in the supply chain.
60 Minutes did a story last night that Volkswagen gets a lot of their parts from Ukraine.
All of the wiring harnesses.
Right.
Volkswagen, BMW, their production lines have shut down because they simply do not have the parts.
And they produce a lot of grain, a lot of wheat.
They do. And depending on how the growing season in the U.S. and other grain-producing countries go, we could see, again, upward pressure on food prices.
So tighten the buckle for now. Maybe by the end of the year, things might get a little better.
I think just tighten it a little bit now and maybe delay a couple of those purchases. And by fall, going into winter, I think things should settle down a little bit.
Let's hope so.
Here's hoping.
Steve, thanks for being with us today. Great insight. Good information. Thank you. Well, still to come for a Ukrainian swim team stranded in Turkey.
We'll find out more about what's next for the team coming up after Dana's first warn forecast.
Eyes require a certain kind of care. As a family-owned optical company for over 40 years, Wisconsin Vision knows firsthand just how important your eyes are. That's why our doctors and staff are highly skilled and passionate in their roles. It's why our centers offer a large selection of eyewear suitable for all lifestyles, and it's why our lens lab is state-of-the-art, conveniently located right here in Wisconsin. Ask about our $99 prescription sunglasses. Wisconsin Vision. See more life.
Since I left for college, my dad has gotten back into some of his old hobbies, and now he's taking Trulicity, and it looks like he's gotten into some new, healthier habits, too.
What changes are you making for your type 2 diabetes? Maybe it's time to try Trulicity. It's proven to help lower A1C. It could help you lose up to 10 pounds. And it's only taken once a week, so it can fit into your busy life. Trulicity is for type 2 diabetes. It isn't for people with type 1 diabetes. It's not approved for use in children. Don't take Trulicity if you're allergic to it. You or your family have medullary thyroid cancer or have multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2. Stop Trulicity and call your doctor right away if you have an allergic reaction, a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, changes in vision, or diabetic retinopathy. Serious side effects may include pancreatitis. Taking Trulicity with sulfonylurea or insulin raises low blood sugar risk. Side effects include nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea, which can lead to dehydration and may worsen kidney problems. The choices you make can help control your A1C. Ask your doctor about once-weekly Trulicity.
Grass looks great, Zeus.
Hey, could you maybe trim the hydrangea too?
Sure thing, Kevin. You want me to do the box suits as well?
No. Finding the right person for the job isn't always easy. But when you have an insurance question, you can always count on your local Geico agent. They can give you personalized advice and could help you save hundreds.
Hey, Medusa, let's boogie.
For expert help with all your insurance needs, get to know your local Geico agent today.
Things were really starting to turn worse for my mom. They basically said, that's all we can do.
Right to try is hope when there is no hope.
We had done research on the Zysami. Apparently it was still in stage 3 clinical trials.
She couldn't have that medication unless it was for the Right to Try Act and Senator Johnson's work.
This is 3 days after the treatment, and you can see the difference. You know, without the efforts of Senator Johnson, my mom wouldn't be here today.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
Enough! This doom and gloom ends now.
It's time for a brighter view. Let the sun shine in with 2-for-1 windows from Feldco. Plus, no interest until 2023.
2-for-1 windows from Feldco ends soon. Hurry. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feldco.
Take a look at this. Drag racers in high heels took to the streets of Key West over the weekend for the Country Republic Drag Race. The playful parody of auto racing featured drag queens strutting their stuff, complete with pancake makeup, wigs, and compulsory high-heeled footwear. Contestants raced on foot down a portion of Key West famed Duval Street, navigating an obstacle course of tires and competing in a heat with shopping cart hot rods. While spectators cheered for their favorites, entrants were judged on their speed, but some were slowed by mishaps, including dramatic falls, lost heels, and road hazards.
That's the Achilles heel.
That's what it is.
Yeah. I think the key is you have to wear high-heeled boots. I've been watching this.
Because the strappy sandals, they slide off. Come on, guys. Come on. Why do you think I've switched to wedges? And I've had viewer comments about it, of why I'm doing wedges instead of pop, because you can run.
Yeah.
If there's severe weather and I got to chase Gary down,
and he's in heels.
And he's in heels.
He moves.
He's got places to go.
So we've just learned a lot about the weather office right now.
Right. Things nobody asked about, nobody needed to know.
But you're getting those answers anyway,
but we're
folks.
Still, yes. Whenever we have a News 3 trivia night.
All right, I want to know what's going to warm up.
Yes, tomorrow's still a bit chilly, but by this weekend it is going to be a lot more comfortable outside. It does come along with some stormy conditions, though. I know.
April showers.
That's what happens. That's what happens. But we need to get a little warmer to really see those flowers start to bloom. We'll look at your full forecast right after the break.
As of 2022, TSR Concrete Coatings has coated nearly 11 million square feet of concrete, and we've completed over 15,000 jobs. If we haven't met yet, I'm Joey with TSR Concrete Coatings, and here we transform your old, cracked garage floor from this to this in just one day. We don't just coat over your old concrete. We grind it down, apply our base coat and chip, and then seal it with our own proprietary sealant that will never chip or peel. And our floors are ridiculously easy to clean. All of our coatings are covered by our exclusive lifetime warranty, and we have our own in-house team ready to answer any questions you may have before and after your install. To learn more or get your new floor, visit the website or call us at the number shown below today. One day floor.
Entresto is the #1 heart failure brand prescribed by cardiologists and has helped over 1 million people. It was proven superior at helping people stay alive and out of the hospital. Don't take Entresto if pregnant. It can cause harm or death to an unborn baby. Don't take Entresto with an ACE inhibitor or aliskiren, or if you've had angioedema with an ACE or ARB. The most serious side effects are angioedema, low blood pressure, kidney problems, or high blood potassium. Ask your doctor about Entresto.
Do you suffer with pain, numbness, and tingling in the hands or feet, commonly diagnosed as peripheral neuropathy? Are you taking drugs such as Lyrica or gabapentin that have serious side effects and often do not relieve your symptoms? Your doctor has told you you may just have to live with the pain. Peripheral neuropathy is a result of damage to the nerves, often causing burning, weakness, pain, numbness, tingling, and the most debilitating balance problems. Our facility uses multiple therapeutic methods to help give you relief from neuropathy symptoms with no injections and no drugs. You may start seeing relief after only a few sessions. To determine if your neuropathy symptoms can be relieved, we will do a consultation to evaluate the extent of your condition. Call us today to schedule your neuropathy consultation to find out if you're a candidate for our therapy. Call today.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Some flurries for us this afternoon, and that's going to continue again for the next few hours, but we'll plan on those coming to an end before we get to midnight. Temperature-wise, Tuesday will still be chilly. It'll still be below average, but we'll start to warm up a little bit in the afternoon and add on a few more degrees for each of the days through the work week. By the end of the week, stormy conditions will build back in for us. These light flurries really extending through most of the state right now as the system does pull further off to the east. Things will improve as we look ahead to tomorrow. High pressure quickly builds in for us on Tuesday. That keeps things pretty dry outside for us for Tuesday. It's not until late Wednesday that our next opportunity for rain builds in. Right now, it does look like some steadier showers there for the middle of the week. These light snow chances, again, just swirling around, not enough to impact visibility, but enough that you'll likely just see them as you step outside heading home for that evening commute. Temperatures overnight only dropping down close to freezing early in the day. Notice as we get closer to midnight, all of the flurries pull off to the east. We'll have a mostly cloudy sky early in the day on Tuesday, but partly sunny skies expected in the afternoon. High temperatures will be in the upper 40s, still about 10 degrees below average, but about 10 degrees warmer than where we're at this afternoon. For Wednesday morning, will be mostly cloudy in the low 40s early in the day. High temperatures climbing up close to 50 with scattered showers expected to build in the late afternoon, and that will continue for us overnight, bringing in the chance for thunderstorms as well. And general precipitation totals are starting to trend closer to about 1 inch, 3/4 of an inch possible for us overnight Wednesday. This just takes us until about 8:30 Wednesday evening. There we go. We'll let everything load on up. As we get into Thursday, those totals do get a little closer to, again, 3/4 of an inch for us. Tomorrow, high temperatures close to 50, partly sunny skies, not as cold outside, a bit breezy. Wind speeds about 6 to 12 miles per hour in the afternoon. We'll be dry for Tuesday. Wednesday, the rain chances develop in the afternoon. It'll be breezy outside for Wednesday. Thursday, we're in the 60s again, and that's where we stay for Friday. Right now, it looks like Thursday will be dry, but we'll have shower chances building in Thursday night into Friday. And as the temperatures do climb, that does also bring along an increase in our thunderstorm chances. We'll see a chance for showers and thunderstorms for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Notice on Saturday, those seem like temperatures trending back into the mid-70s. That'll be very comfortable, but a little stormy at times for us. The chance for rain expected to really build in later in the day on Saturday, heading into Sunday. That cold front passes through, cools us back down for Sunday, heading into next week. Temperatures next week will be in the 50s for afternoon highs, so we're yet again back below average. But dry conditions expected behind all of that rain coming through for next week. So we get a brief little warm up. It's a steady climb up. We can't go straight up. It can't be a straight line here, guys, but it's steadily warming up for us heading at that point into May.
Going in the right direction at least.
Yes, that's the good news.
So what's the average high?
This time of year, about 58 for Madison. So we're below average, and tomorrow we're going to warm up by 10 degrees and then still be below average right now. It's cool. I know it's cool.
That's how cool it is.
Yes.
All right, Dana, thank you. Well, imagine leaving home for a training camp, then not knowing when or if you'll ever get to go back home.
That's reality facing a team of young Ukrainian swimmers now stranded in Turkey. Jomana Karadasha has the story.
Just days after these young disabled Ukrainian swimmers arrived in Turkey, war erupted back home. And what was supposed to be a 2-week training camp has now turned into 2 months of being stranded here, separated from their families during the most difficult of times. At this public pool in Istanbul, they continue their training. It's also a distraction from the one thing that's on everyone's minds.
I just try to don't think about because it's a lot of information about war. I just try a little bit don't think and more training.
24-year-old Kirilo Gerashenko, a Paralympic silver and bronze medalist, is the oldest member of this group of 6 disabled athletes from the eastern Ukrainian city of Zaporizhia. Ilya Sharkov, who's just 15 years old, dreams of becoming a Paralympic champion. But all he wants right now is to be with his parents who live in the Russian-occupied city of Melitopol. To call and see their son, they have to bike 50 kilometers from their home for internet access. Ilya wants us to send them a message. My dearest father and mother, I love you so much, he says. I wish you happiness and health. Say hello to my grandparents and my aunt. 16-year-olds Victoria and Camila speak with their families every day. They're happy that we're in a safe place and not in Ukraine now, that we don't need to stay in the air raid shelters and do not hide, Victoria tells us. Camila struggles to express how much she misses her family. 12-year-old Vitaly is used to traveling, but he's never been away from his parents for this long. Some nights the coaches find the children, especially the girls, crying because they miss their mothers. They lack affection, Coach Irina tells us. We give them affection, warmth, and they give it to us probably even more. In the evening, they don't let us go and ask to hug and kiss us. This single mother doesn't want to talk about missing her own family, her 6-year-old daughter who lives with her elderly grandparents. It's too upsetting, she says. Irina can't abandon her team, and traveling across a war zone with disabled young people is just too risky. Every day, my heart is torn 2 ways, between my home and these children, she says. Istanbul's Kasım Pasha Sports Club has opened its doors to these Ukrainians, giving them a free place to stay and hot meals every day. The group, which has also run out of money, has had to rely on the kindness of strangers who send them things like clothes and fresh fruit. The best and toughest part of the day for Mikita is talking to his mom. Are you sleeping well? Are you eating? You've lost weight, my son, she tells him. I worry about you. We hope the Ukrainian armed forces will throw the enemy out soon and you'll come back and we will hug you. I want to go home so much, he tells her. No one knows when they'll be able to go home, but they say this ordeal has turned their team into a family that will get through this together.
Well, hopefully someday. Yeah. All right, coming up on Live at 4, we're going to take you to Spain, where they're infusing art with odors.
What? Okay, over and over, the Madison City Council has punted or downvoted the issue of body cameras on its police department. Tomorrow, members have the chance to decide once again.
No matter who you are, being yourself can be tough when you have severe asthma. Triggers can pop up out of nowhere, causing inflammation that can lead to asthma attacks. But no matter what type of severe asthma you have, Tespire can help. Tespire is a new add-on treatment for people 12 and over that proactively reduces inflammation, which means you could have fewer attacks, breathe better, and relieve your asthma symptoms. So you can be you, whoever you are. Tespire is not a rescue medication. Don't take Tespire if you're allergic to it. Allergic reactions like rash or an eye allergy can happen. Don't stop your asthma treatments unless your doctor tells you to. Tell your doctor if you have a parasitic infection or your asthma worsens. Sore throat, joint, and back pain may occur. Avoid live vaccines. By helping control your asthma, Tespire can help you be you, no matter who you are. Ask your asthma specialist about Tespire today.
I come here to do homework because they have free Wi-Fi. They don't say anything as long as I buy something.
When there's a lot of noise, it's hard to focus, but I listen to music to try and drown it out. When the Wi-Fi cuts out, I can't finish my homework. That's why I started getting D's.
Millions of children rely on public Wi-Fi to study. U.S. Cellular is donating up to $13 million in hotspots to help youth in need, because every child deserves the same opportunity to learn.
Mirror, mirror on my 5-piece Tremont Queen bedroom set. Who's got the price and value you won't regret? Bob's Discount Furniture, of course. My complete Tremont Queen bedroom set. Thanks to Bob's Discount, it's only $9.99. Dresser and mirror, chest, queen bed, even a nightstand. Available in 2 finishes, espresso and gray. At Bob's Discount Furniture, you get the quality and value you deserve, even if you like talking to yourself in the mirror. Shop what's in stock, in store, or at mybobs.com.
Here's why it's smart to custom order your Ford SUV. Because custom orders receive priority. You'll get an extra 1,000 order bonus plus incentive protection, guaranteeing you the best offer now or at delivery. And the features you choose. Want an EPA estimated 41 combined MPG in an Escape Hybrid? A 12-inch touchscreen in an Edge? You got it. In a Ford built your way. Order your 2022 Escape, Edge, or Explorer to lock in the special Flex Buy offer and get 1,000 retail order bonus cash.
Tonight at 5, the impact of redistricting. We break down exactly where GOP maps could give Republicans a veto-proof majority this fall.
A few lingering rain and snow showers through this evening, and then a warm-up expected for the rest of the week. We'll take a look at how high temperatures could climb.
And then at 6, we talk to Madison Police Chief Sean Barnes about the department's lack of body cameras. We dig deeper into national data surrounding the use of body cams. That's coming up at 6.
Well, given the old weather satellite a spin, we end up at LAX, Los Angeles.
Wonder what it's like over there.
Kind of gloomy, we're told. 50-mile-an-hour winds. It's 67 degrees.
And no snow, so there we go.
There you go.
They're probably bundled up over there.
It was in the 90s in LA like a couple weeks ago, so that's probably more normal. Well, visiting an art museum usually means taking in the masterpieces with your eyes.
But a new exhibit in Spain asks visitors to follow their noses.
CBS's Tina Kraus has the story.
Art lovers are taking time to stop and smell the roses. Not on the street, but inside a gallery in Spain.
The painting has about between 80 and 90 objects that produce odor of some kind, mainly flowers.
Visitors are using their noses to breathe new life into centuries-old artwork, like this piece, aptly named The Sense of Smell. Digital screens with diffusers are dotted around the exhibition.
They can press the screen and the smell comes out and they can smell it.
Curators say because smell can trigger more memories than sight, it's a powerful way to experience art. Carlos Rodriguez thinks it's fantastic. He says the smells are really authentic. Some perhaps a bit too realistic. Alan Llanos says smelling the animal was not the best, but I really liked the scent of the jasmine.
It's nice and it's good, but the painting is still the most important thing to see.
The museum in Madrid is the latest in Europe to fill the air with fragrance, to give visitors a whole new sense of art. Tina Kraus, CBS News.
How about that?
I've been to that museum, but they didn't have the smell vision at that time. But
I'll have to go back.
Historians identified dozens of objects in paintings and worked with a perfume house to get the fragrances just right.
Yeah, immersive. I like that.
Yeah.
Well, and speaking of smells, the weekend box office kind of stunk.
Will Loper's in next with the box office numbers and suggestions on things to watch. That's when Live at 4 continues.
What can I do with less asthma? With Dupixent, I can do more. Crazy commutes, crowd control. Have a nice day, Alex. Thanks, taking the stairs, that's how you do more with Dupixent, which helps prevent asthma attacks. Dupixent is not for sudden breathing problems. It's an add-on treatment for specific types of moderate to severe asthma that can improve lung function for better breathing in as little as 2 weeks. I can reduce or even eliminate oral steroids. And here's something important. Dupixent can cause allergic reactions that can be severe. Get help right away if you have rash, chest pain, worsening shortness of breath, tingling, or numbness in your limbs. Tell your doctor about new or worsening joint aches and pain or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines, including steroids, without talking to your doctor. Are you ready to do more with less asthma? Just ask your asthma specialist about Dupixent.
Since I left for college, my dad has gotten back into some of his old hobbies. And now he's taking Trulicity. And it looks like he's gotten into some new, healthier habits, too.
What changes are you making for your type 2 diabetes? Maybe it's time to try Trulicity. It's proven to help lower A1C. that could help you lose up to 10 pounds. And it's only taken once a week, so it can fit into your busy life. Trulicity is for type 2 diabetes. It isn't for people with type 1 diabetes. It's not approved for use in children. Don't take Trulicity if you're allergic to it. You or your family have medullary thyroid cancer or have multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2. Stop Trulicity and call your doctor right away if you have an allergic reaction, a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, changes in vision, or diabetic retinopathy. Serious side effects may include pancreatitis. Taking Trulicity with sulfonylurea or insulin raises low blood sugar risk. Side effects include nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea, which can lead to dehydration and may worsen kidney problems. The choices you make can help control your A1C. Ask your doctor about once-weekly Trulicity.
Did your or your neighbor's roof take a beating this season?
I'll call Feldco.
Right now, get 30% off a new roof from Feldco. Plus, no interest until 2023.
30% off Feldco roofing ends soon. Call now.
Call 866 for Feldco.
In late October of 2021, I got COVID, and I was pretty sure that I was at the end of my rope.
I knew we were in trouble when we decided to bring in our attorney to start having Joel sign end-of-life documents, business documents.
My last try was an experimental medication. She put me on the Aviptadil, and that next morning when I woke up, I was a new man.
Because of Ron Johnson's right to try bill, I have my husband today.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
Overall, traffic conditions look pretty smooth for us this evening. We do have those snowflakes swirling around in the sky right now, but not concerned about visibility. A lot of green popping up on the map, though. As you get closer to Monona on the eastbound side of the Beltline, things do slow down a little bit. Driving speed down to about 22 miles per hour. Again, that's eastbound close to Monona, but it's just a small area there near John Nolan. Things do seem to pick up as you get closer to the interstate. And the good news, westbound doesn't look delayed at all for us today. North and southbound along the interstate, all good, and downtown Janesville should be pretty smooth for your evening commute from the Beltline to Janesville, sitting close to 25 minutes. 16 minutes right now to get from Middleton to Sauk City and downtown to Sun Prairie, sitting close to a 17-minute commute. That's a quick look at traffic.
Thank you, Dana. Well, meet Florida man Ramiro Alanis. Well, he's the guy in the Spider-Man outfit. He spent, get this, nearly $3,500 on tickets to see the movie Spider-Man No Way Home nearly 300 times. In the process, Alanis broke the world's record for most cinema productions attended of the same film. He spent 720 hours, or 30 days, watching the film 292 times in theaters from mid-December to mid-March. Some days he watched the movie 5 times in a row. To break the record, he wasn't allowed to nap or use a cell phone or even go to the bathroom. Huh.
That's a lot of Spider. You've seen the movie.
I saw it not that many times.
292 times?
It was great. I went to Titanic 7 times.
Well, that's 30 days right there.
It was a long time. I'm still there, actually, in that theater.
Why?
I don't know. It was good.
The box office was pretty quiet over the weekend, holiday weekend, that is.
Film critic Will Loper has the numbers and suggestions on what to watch in this week's Loper Report.
The Beasts were not so fantastic at the box office this weekend. The Secrets of Dumbledore opened to $43 million.
They say if you listen carefully enough, the past whispers to you.
And while that's not a terrible opening, compared to the first film in 2016 with $73 million, the sequel, The Crimes of Grindelwald, in 2018 with $62 million, it's clear not many people were interested in finding out what secrets Dumbledore was hiding.
The world as we know it is coming undone. If we're to defeat him, to trust me.
Jude Law plays the younger version of Wizard Albus Dumbledore, facing off against the evil Grindelwald, played by Mads Mikkelsen, who replaced Johnny Depp.
Our war with the Muggles begins today!
Although the plot is easier to follow this time around, it's still a far cry from the Harry Potter movies, and at the very least, it needs more beasts. Also opening in theaters is the drama Father Stu.
Life's gonna give you a gut full of reasons to be angry. You only need one, to be grateful.
Mark Wahlberg plays Stuart Long, who finds himself called to priesthood after a motorcycle accident.
Your son is about to make a huge mistake.
I'm going to be a priest.
For Halloween.
Wahlberg turns in a fine performance, but the script never delves as deep into Stu's life as it could. On streaming services, freshly arrived on HBO Max is The Batman.
Fear is a tool.
This darker version of The Batman starring Robert Pattinson is one of the better iterations of the Caped Crusader.
You got a lot of cats.
I have a thing about strays.
New on Thursday on HBO Max is the second season of The Flight Attendant.
It literally feels like you're living in a spy novel.
What's going on, Cass?
I'm an asset for the CIA. I know, we said no more secrets, but you were just about to guess it anyway. What does it matter?
Cassie, I was like literally nowhere close to figuring that out.
New on Netflix tomorrow is the documentary White Hot, The Rise and Fall of Abercrombie & Fitch.
It was such a pop culture phenomenon. It was the all-American look.
Abercrombie & Fitch said, we go after the cool kid. Abercrombie rooted themselves in discrimination at every single level.
Abercrombie knew that they had a lot to hide. We have some really troubling behavior.
New on Netflix Wednesday is the second season of Russian Doll.
There are things in life that cannot be explained. Inexplicable things happening is my entire modus operandi. Where are we? More like when are we? Never mind.
Natasha Lyonne returns as a woman stuck in a time loop.
You're a time traveler.
I prefer the term time prisoner.
For Live at 4, I'm Will Loper.
You literally cannot keep up with all of this.
So many things to watch when you're not at the movies 292 times.
Are you going to watch The Batman again tonight?
I will. It's another 3-hour-long movie, so.
All right, Dana has a final check your forecast coming up.
McGann Furniture in Baraboo, we know that hardworking people want the most value for their money. When you shop at McGann, we've already sorted out and selected the brands that we feel offer you the most bang for your buck. From young couples just starting out to senior citizens, we offer a huge selection at prices that will fit your budget. Plus, most purchases include free delivery and setup. And remember, at McGann, we don't raise our prices only to lower them later for a sale. Discover the difference at McGann Furniture in downtown Baraboo.
Dry eye symptoms keep driving you crazy? Inflammation in your eye might be to blame.
Let's kick Ken's ache and burn into gear.
Over-the-counter eye drops typically work by lubricating your eyes and may provide temporary relief.
Those drops will probably pass right by me.
Xiidra works differently, targeting inflammation that can cause dry eye disease.
What is that? Xiidra! No!
It can provide lasting relief. Xiidra is the only FDA-approved non-steroid eye drop specifically for the signs and symptoms of dry eye disease. 1 drop in each eye twice a day. Don't use if you're allergic to Xiidra. Common side effects include eye irritation, discomfort, or blurred vision when applied to the eye, and unusual taste sensation. Don't touch container tip to your eye or any surface. After using Xiidra, wait 15 minutes before reinserting contacts.
Got any room in your eye?
Be proactive about managing your symptoms by talking to your doctor about twice daily Xiidra like I did.
I prefer you didn't.
Xiidra. Not today, dry eye.
As you remodel, don't toss your cabinets and appliances. Donate to Habitat Restore. Give your items a second life while proceeds build Habitat for Humanity homes. Donate today. Habitat Restore, Dane County.
Tonight at 5, the impact of redistricting. We break down exactly where GOP maps could give Republicans a veto-proof majority this fall. And Senator Ron Johnson's visit to Oregon. More on his remarks to firefighters and emergency medical services. That's coming up at 5.
SSM Health celebrates Earth Day. Join us April 22nd from 3 to 6 p.m. There's something to do for the whole family, including a scavenger hunt, face painting, complimentary gifts, and more. We'll see you Friday at one of these locations.
Some light snow still swirling around, mainly north of Dane County. Nothing that's going to stick on the ground, but enough that you will see a few snowflakes for your evening commute. We'll be right back.
Allergy sufferers. Bedtime means it's time to take Zysol. Zysol relieves allergies while you sleep, so you wake refreshed. Plus, it works faster than Claritin, and on first dose, provides the same relief as Zyrtec in a pill nearly half the size. Be wise all. Take Zysol at night.
So, what do you think?
I love it.
At USAA, we've been called too exclusive because we were created for officers. But as we've evolved with the military, we've grown to serve all who've honorably served, no matter their rank or when they were in. A Marine just out of boot camp, or a petty officer from 73, and even his kids and their kids. USAA is made for all who honorably serve and their eligible family members. Are we still exclusive? Absolutely. And that's exactly why you should join.
In the military, we call it dereliction of duty. Ron Johnson is supposed to serve Wisconsin. Instead, he served himself. An investigation found Ron Johnson pushed through a special tax loophole that benefited his own family's business. Then he cashed out of the company for $5 million. Ron Johnson has doubled his wealth since taking office. That's a dereliction of duty. Tell Ron Johnson to stop passing tax laws that benefit himself.
When cleaning your air ducts, it's important to clean the entire system. An air duct cleaning from Stanley Steamer removes pounds of trapped dirt, dust, and allergens from your home completely. The cleaning improves your home's indoor air quality, keeps your home cleaner longer, and can even improve the efficiency of your HVAC system. We want you to have the cleanest and healthiest indoor air possible. So call for a free inspection today.
Stanley Steamer gets your home cleaner.
It's time. Get back to your health and fitness goals by joining Anytime Fitness for just $1. Now through May 2nd. Get a coach, get going, get fit. Join Anytime Fitness for just $1. Now through May 2nd. Hurry in today.
And today's final touch, we have an unbelievable golf story for you.
It involves 3 generations of the same family. It all happened at the Tasmanian Golf Club in Australia. In 1982, Peter O'Keefe shot a hole-in-one on the 8th hole using a 5-iron. Peter eventually handed down his clubs to his son, Glenn. In 1999, Glenn hit a hole-in-one on the 8th hole using the very same 5-iron. Glenn eventually handed down his clubs to his son, Graham. This year, Graham hit a hole-in-one on the 8th hole using, you got it, this very same 5-iron. Grandfather, father, and son all come the feet on the same golf course at the same hole with the same club.
And that's quite the club to be in for that family.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Keep that 5-iron.
Wow.
That's our time for now. Thanks for helping out today, Brady.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
We'll see you back here again tomorrow. News 3 Now at 5 starts right now.